Hey guys, welcome to Devlog 7 of Palm Sugar, a village story. In the last devlog, we spoke about level design and considerations about engine change. In this devlog, we will be looking at the decision of our engine change decision and how it has effect and how we are going about it. If you haven't seen the last video, you can check out the link in the description, which will take you to devlog 6. For us to make this change to Godot, or like to test out Godot, it took like 3 weeks for us, and we're finally convinced that we will be going ahead with Godot. Now, why Godot? There are a lot of things why we have considered Godot. The first and foremost thing is open source and free. Of course, even Unity was open source and free, and there are like tons of engines out there that are open source and free. But Godot has few other aspects as well. First, it is very 2D focused, especially for top-down RPG, as there are many examples of games that have been developed in Godot engine that are of top-down RPG that are very similar to what we are doing. Second thing is it's lightweight. The engine is very lightweight. There's no install. You just download it, extract it, run the exe, boots up pretty quickly. The scenes load pretty quickly. So even on lower end systems, it's gonna be really great. Next, the scene system or the node system. If you're coming from, or if you're considering to change, I think the node system is very sophisticated compared to like game objects created in the hierarchy in Godot. As being a game director, I have like a bird's eye view of both the engines. I have like a fair amount of proficiency with both the engines, mostly with Unity, because that's where I initially started with game development. But like the principles of game engines are very much the same, even with Godot as well. Other part of about Godot is the growing community. Like if you're at something similar at our stage where you're trying to shift your engine from Unity to Godot, or if you're coming to Godot from any other engine, is that they say there's not a lot of documentation or like sophisticated code available out there, but the best thing that you can do is just go into the Godot server, that is Discord server, and you can just join the voice channels, one of there, and some of the other devs will definitely help you. That's how we got a lot of help with our game. Coming to the fact why we are no longer considering Unity, apart from pricing structure. It's unstable, more like a company rather than an engine. That's what my developer had quoted. Also, that we noticed there were a lot of artifacts, and especially when doing a pixel art game, probably we were not great at finding the best settings to run a pixel art game. But then what we found out right off the bat with Godot is that it really handles it handles the pixel graphics really well, so that we couldn't see any kind of artifacts when we tried to run the game. It's pretty good. We don't know how our game will do, but if it blows up, and then if you're making a good game, and of course there is always an argument about like, are you gonna like, since you've made so much money, if you're like, if you make so much of money, it does make sense to give to the game engine, which I totally agree. But then, being very fair, we don't know how our game will perform. That is something that everybody has to discover, and there are definitely better alternatives out there for Unity at this moment. That being said, my developer also experienced a lot of downsides of Godot. There is a learning curve that exists, because when you're switching engines, it's really not that smooth. There's not a lot of third-party plugin compatibility, but like some of the things that really impressed us was the Asprite integration, where you could just save the Asprite files, and then they can be directly imported into Godot. That was good, but I think there should be a few more third-party plugins that need to be installed. And this is something that my dev said, that the documentation is still not there. I mean, as good as for Unity. Understood, because Godot is fairly a new engine compared to Unity, and of course obviously the documentation is going to take some time. Considering all that funding that Godot has received, and then the attention because of what has happened in the community, I think Godot is going to do well. And for that instance, any other game engine that right now was like overlooked because of Unity, Especially in India where I'm from, there's a lot of talent only available for Unity. Most of the devs there only hired for Unity. So I understand the way Unity is positioned in the market at this moment, and how it's a little bit difficult for everyone to abandon Unity and take out consider something else. But for your own future and like reliability reasons, we have to do that. In this entire process, what I've discussed is I made like a third iteration of my artwork, and trust me, things have gotten better with each iteration of our artwork. And then I feel really good that I had to relook at the assets once again for like setting up in a separate game engine. Well, that's all for this devlog. If you like our content, please subscribe to Pixel Stories, and yeah, thanks for watching.